Yeah, I want them boys the medal. We'll see what they do.
I would go USA, France, and South Sudan for the medals. I would be happiest in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Canada.
we got hot mics, man.
Yeah.
I like Canada, man.
Yeah, I got some love for Canada.
Hey, man, Drake's taking it tough. We're not the whole country.
It's one of the best women in my life right now from Canada.
Right now, I heard.
I don't know.
One of the best women in my life right now. That's not a hearty endorsement. She could easily be surpassed.
It's a thought that counts.
Facts. Yeah, but they say Wemby is like he's playing really really good over there.
I should hope
I
so.
haven't seen a game yet.
He doesn't have a choice.
What you saying? It's not a lot of what teammates? A lot of good teammates? Or you just saying pressure on them?
That man's like 8 feet tall, right? Yeah, we're talking about the same person.
Yeah, we talking about the same person.
There's also a certain expectation of playing in the home country.
Yeah.
You know, don't underestimate
Playing in the home
that.
country when you 18 feet tall, yes. You don't got no other choice. Like, what else we gonna do with you? We can't even send you to the army. Like,
Nah, I'm just telling you, man. Playing in the home country.
We can't even send you to the army.
It's too tall, man.
just tall and lanky for no reason.
They'll point them out.
You better shoot some hoops. Like, don't piss me off. Man.
I couldn't imagine him being in the army, man.
He could be his own sniper stance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't have to no getting on the roof.
You're gonna be a sniper target.
That's fine. He's skinny though, man. He can turn the right way and you miss.
Yeah.
When you get some weight on him, like some muscle on him, it's gonna be a problem.
But no, I'm excited for the basketball.
Yeah, that's for sure. Man, I was supposed to have a song ready. I was so busy today. No song.
Oh, freestyle.
No. I don't have no bars, man. We had a couple of
do you remember,
local artists drop some new.
Do you remember any of your old bars or no?
No.
They're like literally totally forgotten.
Yeah, a song will have to come on for me to remember.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's good. Nobody else does either.
Nice.
Stinger.
Nice.
I could have resolved that one.
I'm not gonna lie. This one girl. Shout out to Brittany. Brittany, when I was in college, like she was like she told one of my homeboys she wanted to date me because of one of my songs.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
But that's not the reason. But she said it to like kind of make me feel good.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
So she was lying?
I'm sure she was. But it worked.
I love a woman that can lie.
Yeah.
Do you?
I love a woman that can lie.
Why?
Because when you know that your brain is more developed and more advanced than mine, but you still use your powers to stroke my ego, like I just feel like you're a good person.
Well, one moment she's stroking your ego, the other minute she's stroking another guy. I mean,
And as long as she doesn't let me know,
you're fine with
no
that?
harm, no foul.
All right. What's done in the dark stays in the dark.
If you haven't noticed, once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We have Mr. Jae Fortune in the house today. What's going on, Jay?
It's an honor, man. It's an honor. Big fan of y'all work. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. And, of course, we got a good show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about some Team USA basketball. We're going to be talking about Miss Kamala Harris. That name, I don't know why that name, Kamala. It's Kamala Harris, though.
I think it is.
Yeah.
You on your own. That's called an ISO. We're going to let you know.
Go ahead and bring the rock up by myself. The unfortunate shooting of Sonya Massey. We're going to talk about that. FAMU. You went to FAMU, right?
I'm just a fan. No, I did not go to FAMU.
No, just be.
I'm a fan.
Okay. I saw. I see you post stuff here and there, so I thought you did. But that's cool. We're gonna get into a little bit of that. Okay, and a lot of other stuff as well. All right.
I was on campus back in the 90s.
That would have had to been a good campus to be on. In the 90s.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
Now, so of course, usually I start the show off either with a story or something I've been thinking about, right? Now, and a lot of times, we get into and it's funny, but and this you're gonna make fun of it because that's just what we do. But this is serious though. All right. This is something that's been bothering me for literally a couple of years. It's been bothering me. Every week I think about this. No lie.
Every week for a couple of years.
Every week for a couple of years.
Really?
And it's about, and it's just time for me. I need to just say it, right? I need to come out and just maybe after tonight I won't think about it anymore. I think I did this girl dirty, and I don't think I should have done it this way.
Okay.
All right.
Off to a strong start.
Yeah.
Strong start.
So I was dating this Jamaican girl, right?
Oh boy.
And
Not your preferred Haitian.
no.
Maybe that's where things got off to a bad start.
No, but I liked it. I like, and it wasn't a girl. She was a woman. She was a grown woman, man. I liked her. She only had one son. All right, made really good money. Had a big old house, pool in the back. 3-bedroom house out in the park. Cause she's doing really good. Yeah, she's doing really good. All right,
Better than Bubba himself.
way better. And you know what I'm saying. So everything is good. You know what I mean. And I love how she treats me. You know what I mean. It's always checking about like what I want, what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to do. She wants me to lead, things like that. Like she was just awesome all across the board. All right, so where did the problem come in? I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I need to find a good way to separate because there's a couple of things going on. I know I told the story last week and I said, okay, I feel like I'm one of the best people at getting out of situations, getting out of relationships.
You're an escape artist.
Yeah, I'm a
Houdini,
elite,
they call it.
I'm an elite escape artist. But this one is like I'm escaping from something that could potentially be really good for me, but this is the reason why I couldn't get over. She had a couple of things going on. Like number one was a lot of plastic surgery, right? So she already had she had a fake ass, fake top.
Okay, all right.
And she would, I felt like she made so much money that to where it's the next conversation is always what she was going to get next, change or fix next.
So she was still talking about it like that?
Yeah,
like,
getting more.
Oh wow, yeah.
And more. So I didn't like
We
that.
have a
Was
question.
she
Go ahead.
bleaching? Was she bleaching?
Nah, she wasn't bleaching.
Oh, you tripping.
She had good skin, good black Jamaican skin. She had a strong accent too. It was so
She had
sexy.
Jamaican accent
Oh
too?
man, it was
Gotta have the
yeah.
accent, man.
And like fresh off the boat accent.
Really?
Yeah. But
Did you understand her?
yeah.
Okay.
The kind when she cussing at you, it turning you on. Like,
Yeah, that kind.
Ooh.
All right, and she was sexy now, very sexy.
So far we're on her side.
You're yelling at me, but somehow I'm aroused.
It's the best part.
So one night, I remember this like it was yesterday. So I'm in the parking lot of this club I had been drinking, and so we had been texting, and she's like, so just be honest, tell me what's going on, why you don't want this to happen, blah blah blah. So she's pressing me on why, on like to tell her.
So you've already shown signs that you're not all on board.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's why? What's going on?
Yeah, and she's pressing me.
Okay.
And what I've been thinking about every week for the last couple of years is I actually told her. And like I told her everything. So I'm telling her, I got this long list of things. I tell her about the plastic surgery. I'm telling her about I said breath, I said this, I said that. And
You said breath.
Yeah, man. And so I feel like I did way too much because number one, I got a long list of shit that people, wouldn't like. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised.
So I feel like I did way too much, and I should have just escaped in a different way. Because after that, of course, I never hear from her again. And
yeah,
which is, I mean, it's a part of what you want, but at the same time, that I shouldn't have did it that way. That was messed up.
You kind of threw me off a little bit because I was with her, and then you said something about breath, and then that immediately moved me back to the undecided. Like,
yeah. I mean, honestly, like,
but
what did her breath smell like first? Hang on, break that down for me.
Yeah, see, this
That's
I
gonna make
knew
or
we was
break
gonna
if-
get to comedy.
No,
but,
that's
but
gonna make or break if I rock with you right now. 'Cause
it wasn't good. It wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't good. I don't want to get into
okay, but like, if she just like brushed her teeth, was it okay, or was it so powerful that like
was it chronic?
I don't want to harp on this breath thing because there's a lot of
It's
other
important.
Breath is gonna make or
issues.
break your
There's
argument.
not. There's not. Because, Bubba, here's the deal. Here's the way I'm looking at this.
Break it down for me,
Like,
please.
if somebody has just chronically bad breath and, like, even toothpaste is no match for this breath, like, you just can't deal with that.
Toothpaste, peroxide, bleach.
What are you supposed to do? Every time I get in proximity to you, I'm fucking blown off the ball.
You have to light candles in the bedroom. Like,
I don't. I've smelled worse.
Okay.
I wouldn't put her in like the outrageously bad category.
But was it like
I
if
was
she,
just listing things
if she brushed though, was it you were fine? Or was
in
it
that moment.
still-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have been fine.
but you got to tell her to brush.
Nah, you don't have to tell her to brush, but it's just like I'm not gonna tell anybody to brush. It's the other thing too. It's
Nah,
you
I'm
know what I
rude.
mean?
I be telling folks
Yeah.
to brush, especially if we in an argument.
I'm not gonna offer a mint, a gum. I'm not gonna
Really?
do none of that. Nah.
Bubba, you gotta be a little proactive now.
Different kind of guy.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Just let people be who they are.
Yeah, I want people to be who they are, and then I get to be who I
Don't
am.
be who you are if you stink. If you stanky, you can't be who you are.
Nah,
Nah.
yeah.
Because a relationship, especially with a Caribbean woman, a relationship is, can we fight and make up, and is the makeup better than the fight? As long as the makeup is better than the fight, we good. But if we get into one of those little insignificant fights, but then your breath is still hot, and you got the nerve to be talking to me crazy while your breath is hot, I'm going to bring up how your breath is hot with a smile on my face. And then now your feelings are actually going to get hurt.
But I feel like women, yeah, that's okay, boom. I feel like women, no matter Caribbean or not, they are a delicate like flower. Like who knows what that night did to her, for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
We need to check in on her and see.
You can't be a delicate fire with musty breath. That doesn't work. Like, we have to be realistic in this situation.
Yeah.
Lauren said my girl had a gut issue or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with right there. A little bit what I've been dealing with
Yeah.
mentally on the mental level, man. I'll see if I can get over that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I mean, here's the deal, Bubba. What's done is done. You can't undo that.
Yeah, like, that's
Yeah.
a dub.
You can just be a better man for the next lady.
That's it.
Yeah.
And carry mints.
And I mean, like, what
Yeah,
you
be
can
proactive,
you
like-
can take away a little proactivity from this.
I feel like you're missing the lesson in,
Yeah, you are.
in your situation.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just wasting this time
Like,
every
no.
week
As a
thinking
husband-
about this situation you can't undo. Just stock up with some breath mints and hit
and
the
if she's
streets
worth
again.
it, help her fix it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's right.
find her.
But yeah, I mean, somebody mentioned a gut issue. I mean, like, honestly, like, maybe not at the end of the relationship, but like, you should have addressed this earlier in some way.
Yeah.
That's the only
I mean,
thing
maybe
you did
there
wrong.
could have been a medical solution to this.
The only thing you did wrong.
You know.
If it was a couple of years ago, is it too late to send a
Breast mints?
nah like a text?
It's never too late to send a text.
Never too late to send a
It's
text.
never too late to send a
Let's
text.
circle back.
She says you can apologize to the lady. Maybe I should do that.
Isn't that what, like, what is that thing, like, people that, like, when they're like addicts or whatever?
Oh,
they
yeah,
just, like,
the,
kinda go back and kind of
relapse?
redress. No.
No.
They're
Like
supposed
5 stages to
there's-
recovery.
There's
That's
like
one
one
of
of the steps to recovery is to go
Steps
back
to
to people
recovery.
that you've wronged and just kind of come clean and say, I've done you wrong in this way and I
Yeah.
apologize for that. Maybe you're there.
Yeah. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then be prepared for
But
it.
don't just say like hey, what's up, Zach? Like,
Nah, I'm gonna get straight to it.
yeah, get straight to it. Say, hey, I was,
she could be married,
I was a bit of an asshole.
or she could have,
Even more plastic
off
surgery.
herself. I don't know.
Or it could be worse.
Oh, yeah, that could be an
This number's
option
been
too.
disconnected.
Definitely disconnected. I'm definitely blocked. I'm definitely blocked on all.
Big shouts out to Miss.
So how
Tommy.
would you reach out then?
I'm gonna send a text.
But if you're blocked, you're blocked. No.
Yeah, but yeah.
So-
You
That's
got
it.
WhatsApp?
I'm sure she does.
She definitely got WhatsApp.
She definitely got.
There you
All,
go.
yeah, most Caribbean
Yeah.
people got WhatsApp.
Most international people have WhatsApp.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren is a part of what made this happen tonight. So shout out to Lauren.
Big shouts out to Lauren.
Yeah,
Alright.
man. We're gonna,
Never
we're gonna get her in to talk about some massages and stuff, man.
Never too late to apologize, she says.
Never.
Never too late.
But at that point, like, who is the apology for?
It's for me.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah,
You're that guy.
yeah. It's always.
I appreciate the honesty. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to
Yeah.
clear my conscience.
Yeah, you're
Alright.
wasting all that time, man. Imagine what else you could do at that time, Bubba.
I know.
That's the beautiful thing about women, though. Like, if she really liked you like that, she does not care. Like, you can always swim back.
You keep somewhere circle back. That's right.
If she liked you like that. Now, he's not telling us that part of the story.
Nah,
though.
she liked me. Yeah, she liked me. I was all in the house.
She didn't like you enough to fix her breath.
So after you said all this, though, like did the phone just go silent, or did she cuss you out, or
She just said, she was just like, thank you, or whatever, and then that was it.
kept it professional to the very end?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh, credit to
Yeah,
her
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Credit to her.
No, that's bad sign.
What?
That's a bad sign. Why?
A Jamaican woman's supposed to she's supposed to get angry. Like she's supposed to
well, what about
turn
you
up.
with your?
Yeah, like if that don't.
You got
turn
3
into
toes and yeah.
She might not have been that into you, bro. That's tough.
I think she might have been just overwhelmed by what Bubba dropped on her.
Yeah.
Just said, all I can do right now is take it, give it the thank you, keep it professional.
Overwhelmed by that
I
breath.
can't process right now.
How you doing well in life and your breath stink?
Very well.
That's upsetting.
It's upsetting.
That's really upsetting.
I still got these pictures that we took at, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
That's some sappy shit, Bubba.
Of course you do.
Bubba's about a week away from the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, well, listen, Bubba is a man.
I'm not sure.
He's a man at the end of the day.
Still got these pictures we took. You want to put them up on the show here?
Yeah, Lauren says send a text now. Actually, I like that suggestion.
Sit it down so we can see if she responds. I'll
On
do
the
that.
show.
I'll do that.
Is she aware that you have a show?
Yeah.
Okay.
She gonna find out today.
Let's move along here. We'll come back to that. I'm gonna do that while we on the show, and then if she responds, I'll let y'all know while we on the show in real time.
All right.
All right. Let's move this along here. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. Let's go to. We got 2 things here that's pretty big that's going on, and I'm gonna just pick one. Let's go to.
That's all you can do when you have 2.
Yeah, let's go from Bubba sad story to a national sad story here.
Okay.
All right.
Let's keep it sad.
Yeah, man. Sonya Massey here. How familiar are you guys with this story here?
Fairly familiar.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, this hit the news with her. Did you guys see the video?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But you heard of it?
I heard the story.
I haven't clicked on the video, but
I refuse to watch the video.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not doing that.
I read the article like detailing the video about the cops coming into her home, asking her questions, her having the pot of water, right?
Yeah.
And basically, the article made it seem like she was in a mental state, like it's just. Something could have been going on with her mentally. Is that what you took away from it as well?
Could be.
Like possibly.
Yeah.
And the cop asked her to put down the water. She seemed to. What term did she use? Something like a religious term.
Religious term. Yeah.
Yeah. What did she say? She said
something about rebuking.
Yeah. I rebuke you
Yeah.
in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
And then, but then she did go to she was putting the water down.
Maybe this will put an end to stupid religious rantings.
And then she went to go put the water down, and then she gets shot.
Yeah.
They said what 3 times?
Multiple gunshots.
Multiple times.
Yeah. You just hear.
Yeah, and then the police says, "Well, I wasn't going to get shot. I wasn't going to get pot of water thrown on me or something like that." He says, "A pot of scorching water."
Yeah, he should be in jail. He should be in jail right now. He should be in jail
should
right
be.
now off of that.
Now this is the great American tradition of bad police, just not being capable of doing their jobs, of de-escalating a situation, and ending up killing an innocent person, an unarmed person. I mean, it just happens all too often. The guy who did this was apparently was in the military, had a bad military record for behavior and conduct, and guess what? We hire him as a cop. And we
speak French?
Yeah, no, I mean just societally, this is what this country does. Is we hire these people as cops and they go out and just fuck shit up. I mean, it's just that simple. It's like this guy was mentally unsuited to do the job that he was doing, and somehow we're okay with that. Now we have another dead person. Now we have a question. Are they actually going to convict this guy? Is he actually going to get what he deserves out of this? Or is it going to turn into some, bullshit thing 2 years from now when he gets off with some slap on the wrist? It's ridiculous. It happens far too often. And as a country, we don't give a damn enough to do anything about it.
Well, I have to push back on a little bit. As a country, we refuse to be honest with ourselves. Because there is no other industry where you can enter into as a professional and be like, oh, I killed that person because I just didn't want to get water on my uniform today. Or I just killed that person because I thought he had a weapon. Like, no, you're supposed to be a professional at this. You are supposed, like, we invest too much money into you and what you do. We give you a car. We give you a fire service weapon. We give you, like, equipment. Like,
but you're hiring people that are unsuited mentally to do this job.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting them into a toxic, hyper-aggressive culture, and then you're expecting the result to be good. You're fooling yourself.
I don't even know what the expectations are at this point. Because again, correct me if I'm wrong. This wasn't his first department. Like, he was bouncing around. So again,
yeah,
this specific segment or this specific area of American culture or American society, there's something wrong with it. Like, I don't know. At this point, like, this is not something that you can fix. Like, at this point, like, if you don't just abolish the entire thing and start from scratch, like, you're not serious about it. And clearly we're not a serious country when it comes to this topic. We're not a serious place when it comes to this topic.
Yeah. And to y'all point there, it says he was involved. Okay. He was involved in the shooting death of a woman who called for 911 assistance. Worked at 6 different law enforcement agencies in the last 4 years. State records obtained. Okay, since August of 2020, Sean worked less than 1 year at the Auburn, Illinois Police Department, 1 year at the Logan County, Illinois Sheriff's Office, and then just over a year with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. Okay, he was arrested twice for Class A misdemeanor DUIs, once in 2015 and once in 2016. And then the father says these were all red flags, and yet they still made him a deputy in Sangamon County. You know what I mean?
That's the failure right there.
Yeah.
You have enough information to know that this guy's unsuited to hold the job of law enforcement officer, unsuited to have a firearm at in his possession and control, and yet he's hired.
Yeah,
and hired by multiple times. Multiple agencies.
That's like typical HR stuff. Like, I'm an HR recruiter. If I see a person who has bounced around a couple jobs within a couple of years, I'm just clicking on the next resume. I'm not even calling this person to ask why.
Right.
There is no good reason why.
Yeah.
You can't do that anywhere else. Any other space where there's serious people that, like, actually take their job seriously. That doesn't happen. He's supposed to be under a jail, or he's supposed to be under something at this point. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to. She's supposed to be alive right now. Like, that's just the end. Like, I don't know where you want to lead the conversation after this, but I do have kind of a stance in my own personal life as a black man.
Yeah,
just say it.
I don't. In a relationship, especially, like, if you call the police, like, if we're having a disagreement in our home as a couple, and you call the police, that's the end of the relationship. Like, that's kind of where I'm with it now. Just talk back to the culture issue. Like, if we can't, as adults, sort our own differences, and you elect to call them folks over here, like, we can't be cool after that. Like, there's no coming back from that. Like, I see certain relationships where, it's a common occurrence. Oh, they're fighting again. Oh, the deputy's back over there. Oh, that, like, nah.
Yeah.
Because this case is, like, unreal in how she did everything she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And this is the result that came out of it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with it. I haven't like really thought about that, or really
what was the
thought about taking that
original
stance.
Was her original call due to a domestic dispute or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
She called for help because she thought there was an intruder in her house.
Okay, but you just kind of on your own accord.
His personal
I got you. Yeah. No. I mean, to address both, it's like you're coming over for a possible intruder, like, and there's one person there, and the person that called, you don't have that information relayed to you before you arrive on scene. I mean, how bad are you at what your job is supposed to be that this gets this far out of hand?
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's unforgivable.
At no point in this did it get out of hand, though, because, again, it's still just her and him. Like,
it got out of hand when he shot and killed her.
Well, that's not out of hand. He took it in his hands to execute something. So now this is a murder situation. Like this was not. This was not. Oh, they got into an argument, or oh, things got hectic. Like no. At no point was he in danger. At no point. I didn't watch the video, but at no point did it become like a conflict. It was just, I feel like shooting her right now, so I'm gonna put 3 in her and we'll see what happens.
Right. Well, I mean, I hesitate to say that it was premeditated. I'm not going to go that far. That he, hey, today I'm going to kill the first call I get. But when I say it got out of hand, I think that there's a pattern of behavior with law enforcement that they get into situations and they simply overreact, and they get to situations where it never needs to get there. And they turn into and sometimes it's like this where it's almost completely senseless, and you're going to use some excuse of somebody holding water as a threat. Sometimes they get into the thing where it's like they want somebody to listen to their command so badly that they just keep pushing and pushing until it gets to an absurd place. I just think that there's rather than de-escalation, there's way too high an incidence of escalation on the part of law enforcement that ends up in these tragedies. And it's not coincidental that it's, black people versus white people getting killed in the majority of these situations. That's not an accident.
Yeah, the only thing that's been consistent in this country throughout history is that bad people use law enforcement and use the opportunity of getting employed in law enforcement to do horrible things to people that are weaker to them or to people that they have power over. So until that becomes a national conversation, until that's taken seriously to where a nationwide audit happens, it's just not serious. It's not serious. And the fact that these videos are just on the internet, if my loved one gets killed and I get lied to about it, if the investigation hasn't even started yet, and yet a video of my loved one getting murdered in her home is going viral again, that would prompt me to do some irrational things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Lauren is saying, I feel that you put my, she responded back to you. She says, you put my life in these strangers' hands, knowing it could be over after the slightest inconvenience to them. And then she says, premeditated is different than having such disdain for people that you use anything to be the reason you pull the trigger.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by this saying. It's not a coincidence that this is occurring to a black woman with a white officer.
Yeah.
That's that not far below the surface disdain and racism in effect.
And I can vet you out and say that all 3 of us sitting on this couch, we're quote unquote, we support law enforcement, or we support the rule of law, or we support a society that's governed by rules, and if you break rules, there should be consequences. But one thing I hate about this country is the law enforcement community be so quick to put out statements. They be so quick to, well, we don't like this, so we all collectively stand on this. But then when something like this happens, it's, well, what's specific about this case? No. Are you, as a nationwide organization, as a nationwide collective, as the biggest gang in the country, do y'all cool with this or not?
Well, and I do find that fascinating. One of the reactions that I've always wanted to see and you never see is when an officer does something horrific. And we've had so many of these videoed events that you can't defend them. But I don't ever feel that law enforcement embraces the wrongdoing and says, yes, this was horrible. It's unacceptable. This officer deserves everything they get for what they did. That's not what we stand for. I feel they have a persecution mentality going in their current culture, that they're victimized themselves, and they feel that they need to protect and justify any idiotic behavior.
Murder.
And when you do that, when you defend murder that can't be defended, you lose credibility that you're never getting back. You have to be able to let somebody go when they've gone far enough and be like, that guy screwed it up. Because the reality is, this idiot and every other one before them, that makes the job of every other officer that much more difficult.
Yeah, you can never find a police union when you need them, and you can never find you can never find a police union when you need them. It's when we don't need them to speak up. They the loudest voice, and they their finger on the scale.
They fired him, but that's not enough. I want you know how when police officers get killed, like the other police officers, like they band together, and when they find that person, like
they go overboard.
They really f that person up,
man.
man.
They go overboard.
And if they don't kill, if they don't,
it's
one example.
Yeah,
it's one example of many.
culture.
But
shout out to gang culture.
I want that to happen to the police officers who kill unarmed, innocent people. I want people to be able to band together, whether it's other police officers or whether it's people of the community, to be able to band together and get that police officer and do the same thing. Because that's what needs to be done. They feel the need that needs to be done when one of their loved ones get killed, and I feel the need for that to be done when one of our loved ones get killed. I don't know.
Yeah,
what's the difference?
You asking for too much, but the least y'all could do is put out a word, send out a tweet. Because y'all, I know. I was shocked when I found out y'all had Twitter accounts and all these different things. Like, oh, y'all have a way of communicating to us if y'all feel like it. So just give us a little, you know what I'm saying? We not with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was whack. Something.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, own that this guy was not what you stand for.
Collectively, they've lost credibility a long time ago.
Yeah.
As a black person, again, I feel the black community, any other community that positions themselves as if they're organizers, there's some sort of unity. Like again, the Asian community, the Jewish community, any other community that takes themselves seriously.
I'm not Asian though.
No, but I'm.
You kind of looked and turned at me. I'm like, no, man.
No. I just want to be very careful with what I'm saying. I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I trust you. I trust you more than I trust him. So that was kind of off.
That's a good decision, though.
Any community that takes themselves seriously after they're violated, they put out a statement and then they lock arms and they be like, "No, we're not with that. You guys can't really come over here." Like we always talk about community policing, and it's a fuzzy idea. It's like a cute idea. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna police our own communities. Like, no, for real, we police ourselves, and that goes back to what I was saying. Like in my relationship, where I have the most, that's the closest thing I have to controlling my world.
Yeah,
like that's a rule that we don't do that. We solve this problem amongst ourselves. If it escalates to that point, we no longer have any type of. I can't do nothing with you. Like.
No, but what you're saying applies both ways. It applies within the community, and it should apply within law enforcement.
Yeah,
they need to police themselves, their behavior, their conduct. They need to have discipline. They need to hire good people, and they need to weed out those that are not up to the task before this happens.
I'm not a gang member, so I don't know how they handle things internally.
Yeah. Well, if they need a qualified HR professional, you can come my way. I'll make sure the right ones get hired and fired.
There you go.
All right, and get their ass whooped into oblivion. All right. Now we're gonna. I want to ask you guys because we're gonna go into Kamala Harris. So, but before we talk about this topic from that standpoint, is there something from the Sonya Massey shooting? Is there something politically that could be done that could avoid those situations in the future? Some people are asking for some type of legislature about black people, unarmed people being murdered. You know what I mean? Like some type of law that can prevent those in the future.
Legislation and law is a part of the puzzle to solving any issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it helps if you have laws on the books that allow you to do things that help the situation you want to help. But then there's also conduct of individuals and culture that become important. Like, I feel that it needs to be like a redefining of what law enforcement is. I mean, I look at the concept of protect and serve. Like, that's not aggression. Mm-hmm. That's protecting, and it's serving the community. And that is, judiciously, finding people that are doing things wrong to others and getting them out, and charging with appropriate crimes and having a balanced system of justice. Now, you could have the laws that allow you to do certain things, but if you don't have the consistency of enforcement, if you have inequity in the social justice system, meaning the actual prosecution of crimes, and where you have the same crime. How many times have we seen this? Same crime committed by a black offender and a white offender, and the black offender gets 3 to 4 times the sentence. That's doesn't work either. Now the law is what it is, but that's an administration of justice issue where you're not doing that equitably, and you need to address it on both sides of it. You need to the culture of law enforcement, the culture of prosecution, as well as having the laws that give you the tools to do these things.
I want to say shout out to the queen in the comment that says we gotta watch the video.
Yeah.
Because I think I understand where she's coming from, but just as a black man in America, I've watched a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Like we've seen a lot of videos, and something happened the other day. Your boy got shot at, Trump.
Yeah.
And I watched that video too, and my reaction wasn't the reaction that I want my reaction to be. My reaction was, oh, okay. Like I wasn't.
Yeah.
It's so hard to be shocked anymore. It's so hard to be like to have like a visceral human reaction anymore because we watch so many damn videos. Like
yeah.
I'm done. Like I've seen children shot on playgrounds by people with badges. I've seen women woken out of their sleep with bullets. Like we have enough names, we have enough hashtags, we've seen enough videos. There's nothing in that video that makes me feel different than how I feel right now, and I feel like that's a problem, and that's not a problem that can be fixed by one side or the other. I think things have gone too far, and I think if there's not an audit conducted by the highest form, America's always been lawless for the most part. America went immediately from colonies to the Wild West to today. At no point has it been this. I don't believe in equality. I think equality is a myth. That's probably one of the biggest lies that they ever told us. Because from the very beginning, from chapter 1, there's always been different treatment based on who you are, based on what access to resources you've had, and like whether you want to call it as a race thing, whether you want to call it as a class thing. It's always been. Yeah, but there's an exception. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, facts. Big facts.
So you talk about legislation. There's legislation that it gets written and they just don't vote on it. Mm-hmm. Like it just sits there. So I think Black America needs to come to terms with the fact that, again, this is not something that the powers that be are looking to fix. You know what I'm saying? So I'm old enough to remember, they call them riots, but the George Floyd situation and the Philando Castile situation,
mm-hmm.
those were the closest we came to them actually respecting our opinions because, oh, wait, cities are burning down? Like, wait, y'all got to relax. Like, hang on, let's be reasonable. Like, if they don't fear you, like, respect and fear go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And Black people in America are very docile. Black people in America are very, you know what I'm saying, cuddly. Like, there's no respect level.
No,
so.
at 0, negative 1,000%. And so when you and that's a good point that you're bringing up about Black America, because that's kind of where I wanted to take this angle at, because when you talk about Kamala Harris, she's kind of the conversation is divided in Black America as far as whether people want to get behind her or not, right? And so now that Biden has dropped out of the race, now it's a divided community. Whether it's she's not Black. What has she been doing for the past 4 years? When she was a prosecutor, she was behind putting X amount of Black people in prison at alarming rates. Okay, and then on the other hand, you have the other side of the community saying, well, she is of color. And it's anybody but Trump, and then and we need to get out and we need to vote her in. And so it's like it's a community divided, and so and what I'll say my comments for them, but you guys, you got anything to say on that?
I mean, I'm well documented. Anybody but Trump, whatever it takes to beat that guy, needs to happen. I'm not changing on that, not apologizing for it, nothing. I think that the Biden campaign was just dead on arrival. He there was no buzz, there was no momentum, there was no movement to it. He just looked increasingly incompetent and out of touch and just not having his faculties, and there was nothing to rally around. And I'd heard for several months that come the convention that he would step down and they'd appoint somebody else. I do think that by going with Harris, and it's not official until the convention.
Right.
So
It's not
worth noting that. But significantly, most major folks on the Democratic side have endorsed her, which is significant.
Biden being one. Right.
Biden, yeah, but so it is important that she has that. Now, if you look at it, obviously you're the vice president. If your president steps down and you don't get the opportunity, that's a very bad look. You know, and I have some measure of respect the fact that they have endorsed her and they're going to move forward with her at this point that we can tell. And so I think that that's a good thing, and I think that there is a momentum now. There is talking points that there was none when Biden was running, other than just he looks like crap. And now you have a debate, even if it's a debate of whether should I support her or should I not. Well, if you're thinking about that and talking about that, you're not talking about that other motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And so that alone puts you kind of ahead as far as, party politics or having your shine in this moment. I thought it was actually interesting and good that this happened after the Republican convention where Trump was approved. Because the reality is, if this happened earlier, and there's a good argument to be like, why? I mean, Biden was just bad from the jump. Like, why didn't this happen months and months ago? Well, one thing that happened is because, it happened when it did, they're already stuck with Trump. And if the narrative changes, the best thing you had is that you're a geriatric white man who's slightly more energetic than the other geriatric white man, now that doesn't matter. And that's been the best thing you've had to neutrals.
Yeah.
Now your MAGA fuckers are never. You're never changing them. They're gonna die the way they are, and I hope it's soon. But what you're gonna have is neutral people who were uncomfortable voting for Biden because he just looks so bad, and we're either gonna sit out, not vote, or maybe vote for the other guy. Now those people have something to consider. They have a candidate with a pulse. They have a candidate who might stand for something or what have you. And the other thing, it also comes on the heels of Trump's pathetic pandering to black people. Mm-hmm. And now you have a person of color as the candidate. And I think that that's one of those things that and he'd really kind of ramped that up lately. So again, that kind of undercuts a little bit of that, as far as that goes. And so, the timing of it I thought was interesting, but you can read into it, I think, some positive, things as far as getting a dialogue, getting something on the Democratic side that's talked about, that's debated, that's considered. And then I heard some things that now he's maybe not going to want to do a debate.
but she's can be a strong debater.
You don't want no smoke.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, it's no surprise. At the end of the day, he is a bully, and bullies are always babies.
Yeah,
they're always babies. And when the real smoke comes, he's gonna hide.
Yeah,
whatever form that comes.
A bully fighting the case is nuts.
Yeah, he wouldn't do well.
He doesn't do well at anything if you have a brain.
Well, I was gonna say because he beat Biden for what it's worth in that first round, but he wouldn't beat Kamala.
As a politically active black man, America overall is weird, but Democrats specifically are like a different flavor of weird. So it's like you're sitting here and you're watching them go through their thing, and you can't really even say much because again, you have this man that's clearly on his last legs. And y'all are telling us, oh, this is our candidate. We're sticking with our nominee. And then they pulled the okie doke, like you pointed out. It's like, okay, do I give you credit because you guys are tacticians, or is Biden just old as shit? It's like I don't know. Do you give them was this part of the plan? And if that was part of the plan, American politics has become really bad for my political correctness. Because you want to say, oh no, everyone's just in it for for the good. Everyone is just playing fair and this and the third. But that was a wild okie doke they pulled on them boys. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been horrible for a long time. You've had a a radicalized Republican Party that's drifted further and further into ignorance, and that you do not have middle of the road politics. And middle of the road politics are where elections can swing freely. When you're looking at two people who, their views aren't all that different. You know, maybe there's a little different approach to different issues, but everyone agrees what the facts are. And it's like, do you like or trust that candidate to do better than the other guy? But you don't have that. We have extreme politics, and we have, polarizing politics where you have groups of people that are just never going to be swayed either way, and you're fighting for a very narrow middle ground.
Yeah, this is not politics.
Voter.
I'm a nerd, so like I get offended because it's like this is not politics. Ever since Trump came into the equation, even before Trump, ever since the Republican Party looked at Obama and was like, "Yo, if we work with this dude, we are never getting into power again." So from day one, we're just gonna decide to like sabotage. Y'all decided to sabotage democracy, and y'all were not like excluded from the political process. This is no longer politics. This is one cult versus another cult, And it's the Republicans started it, but the Democrats aren't much better. Because again, how is it y'all have a 300-year-old man? He can't go up the stairs. Like, this is why you guys have primaries. You remember the primaries? I was watching the primaries. Were you watching the primaries?
No, not this.
They had some random guy from Minnesota was the only other candidate, and like every time they spoke about him, they just shitted on him. It was like, oh yeah, this guy's decided to run a primary against the president. Isn't he stupid? Oh, we just gonna joke on him. Like, I mean, but when y'all had other qualified candidates, you guys didn't nurture them. You guys didn't get them. Like, there was no one in the gym putting shots up for like when the star player hangs up his jersey. The star player is 300 years old.
Yeah.
The star player was old enough to remember segregation. Like,
yeah.
Like, why don't you guys have a bench? Like, again, this is not how the game is played. That's all I keep. That's the only thought I have on politics these days. That's why when people ask me about who I'm vote, when people ask me who I vote for, I always say I just vote local. Because at least locally, like, you can actually touch these people. We can actually have a conversation. Like, we're actually living in the same world. I don't know what world these people are living in. Where they see a man that can't even go up a flight of stairs and be like, oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be our nominee. And then the next day, it's, oh, well, yeah, we have a new candidate, by the way. Look at the other guy. He's so old. You guys were just telling me age wasn't an issue 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Like, the gaslighting is nuts. The gaslighting is crazy. Everybody is weird. Everything is weird. The fact that Trump is a nominee is weird because if I remember correctly, he tried to do a coup last time. Y'all gave him the keys, and now y'all talking about giving him the keys again.
Yeah.
Clearly, y'all have some kind of arrangement, or y'all have some kind of understanding, because y'all wouldn't be playing this crazy if like things were serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because even like when we were talking about Biden, okay, his main job wasn't campaigning. His main job was to be the president. So we all just realized Biden was old. Whoops, our fault. But he still got the nuclear codes and everything. So like the country was running with him asleep in the office or whatever. Who was making these decisions?
Oh, clearly,
like
it's clearly the team of people he has around, but both guys,
So we're voting for the team then? Because if that's the case, if that's the case, then why didn't you stick with your guy?
No, but you have to vote for the team, and it's significant.
Yeah,
I
don't be liking the team either.
No, it's fine.
The team be kind of shaky.
No, I mean, I think that's one of the other reasons why I find Trump so objectionable. I think he's completely interested in his own staying out of jail. Yeah. He doesn't give a damn about politics of the country. But what's funneled in behind him is a bunch of radical ideologues who are going to push just an absurd agenda forward.
Remind me if you can. Trump offered somebody VP, not the guy he tried to get killed, but a different guy. Trump offered someone VP and was like, yo, I just want to be the president. Like, you can control all the policy stuff. Like, you pick the policies and things. I just want to be out here and do rallies and stuff. Like, that was a direct quote from the dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I'm like, you got to appreciate Trump because, like,
no, you
that's how the government runs.
No, you don't.
But that's how the government runs is what I'm saying.
You still don't have to.
But that's how the government runs. That's my beef with America, right?
Yeah.
If the dude is telling us how the system actually runs, like, I'm like, so how am I supposed to take any of this seriously? Like, there's supposed to be rules that, like, all right, you break this rule, the game is over. If we're playing Uno and I get up and I slap you, the game is over. If we're playing Monopoly and I'm losing and I knock the board over, the game is over. If I'm the president of the United States and I lost the election and I have all my homies pull up to the Capitol and we're running through the Capitol and people are dying and people are getting shot, the game is supposed to be over.
He should have been executed for treason after that.
But apparently there's no rules here, right?
I understand that.
So
That's
it's like,
one of the problems.
okay. But now apparently the narrative is that black men are just, we're selling out and this, that, and the third. And like the narratives are falling into place in a way that I'm just like, I can't even get jiggy with this. Like, this is not even cute.
Well,
like, this is not even fun no more. Like,
no, I'm glad you ended there because I wanted to make my point before we move on. We're going to move on here. But my point for Black America is I think the way it's set up right now and the way everything is, you're probably in the best favor, as Pink said, to just go with whoever the Democrats do end up choosing to go with.
Why?
Right? But hold on, because my overall point is this, and that is to avoid letting Trump get back in the office, because who knows? We don't know what those plans are. But my overall wish and hope would be if the overall black vote every black person would just not vote at all, period. That would be my number one wish list, because neither party, neither candidate, neither party, and not only these two guys throughout the history
of America
from
day one,
the black community has never benefited directly from any direct policies from these guys, and we as empty promises, and we continuously each election, each time we get pumped up, we go out and they tell us to just vote, and we do that and we just vote, and we watch all of these different other communities and different races of people. They get all of these policies, they get everything, and we don't get a goddamn thing.
They get
ever.
all that respect, and we don't get nothing.
We don't get nothing.
And we had a president
even
already.
Going back all the way back, we still waiting on reparations that they promised us.
Who's still waiting on reparations?
But they promised that we never even got that. But Indians got their version of reparations.
You waiting for reparations? I got a beach house in Utah for you.
LGBTQ has all of these different policies and laws that have been passed by the Democrats, Republicans, and we don't get anything
of substance.
But we make up a larger percentage than these other groups of people. You know what I mean? It's terrible, but what they do know is that we're not going to band together and unify our vote. They understand that. They it's different. It's different things, and it's even going back all the way back to slavery. It's just not going to happen. But that's just my thing. So we can.
Kamala been too much of a team player too.
What?
Kamala's been too much of a team player.
In what respect?
You remember J.R. Smith?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Remember how sometimes J.R. Smith would just get lit and just take a shot from half court? Kamala never did that. Kamala was never like, you know what? I ran for president one time. I still kind of want the job, low key. Let me introduce myself to y'all.
Yeah.
Kamala never spoke to us. Kamala never expressed no firm opinions. Kamala, I remember you ran for president and you got smoked. Yeah. That is my only impression from you. You ran on your own 2 feet, and you got smoked. And then you went with Buddy, who I guess we didn't know was old until we found out he was old. And now because he damn near died, I guess we're just going to give it to you, and everyone got to rally behind you because you're the Messiah. Yeah. Great, but I still don't know shit about you.
I don't. The only thing
Lorenz Tate came out and said he needs to be her running mate from Power. You know Lorenz Tate.
Yeah.
She better pick him because at least that gives. Okay,
his
cool.
Character from the show.
That give us something because you don't talk anyway. Campaign, run a campaign. That's what I would like to see. I know it's only 3.5 months or something, but run a campaign.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we'll see.
We'll see what they put together there. Once again, you're on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors here, Royal13TheBrand.com. Again, that is Royal13TheBrand.com. Use promo code Bubba Pink. All right, and be fresh for the end of the summer. I actually have his first shirt on today, man.
That is the very first shirt.
That's hard.
Yeah. The Don't Shoot Me shirt. You know what I mean? I wanted to wear
go.
it. It's a little tight on it. When I first bought it, it was a little looser.
You're in better shape back then.
You're doing your push-ups.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Shout out to Royal13 The Brand.
That's funny.
All right. Let's get into a couple of sports topics here. All right. So, of course, Team USA basketball. We have the first matches on Sunday. Okay. And
who do we play?
Serbia. playing Serbia. Now, we played Serbia in one of the exhibition games, but they were missing two of their starters. They were missing Jovic, the guy from Miami Heat, and they were missing one of the guards, another NBA guy. All right. So Serbia is looking to put up a better match. All right. But I wanted to take this from a standpoint of course, LeBron has been carrying this team
Correct.
throughout the exhibition games. All right. And is that is that a problem? Like, should we feel bad about the oldest player in the NBA carrying this team? You know, and these are like, some of these have been really close games, and it seems like without him, they may have even lost the game. Like, because can you imagine this team in the next 4 years with some of these guys? Like, if they're not going to step up, what's going to happen? Like,
America likes old people. That's what I'm learning.
I guess the one thing that was in my head was in the South Sudan game, we're down 1, we have the ball.
Yeah.
And like, I was watching the possession unfold going, okay, what are we going to do? And the extension of that is, who's going to make this play? And LeBron is carrying the team. I get that. He's playing great. It's fantastic. But the point I'm saying is that there's not necessarily like a void behind him. When you're in a close game, you designate somebody to make the play. And he's been the guy we've chosen to make the play, and he's responded. It doesn't mean that others are incapable of that. And I think that that's a little bit that we may be getting carried away from. It's like,
yeah, but not just the game-winning shot. I mean, even defensively. I mean, he's making
he's
steals, he's making blocks.
But what did we say?
the leading scorer.
What did we say a couple weeks ago?
What's that?
This is the last moment that he has to play championship basketball.
So it's for Curry.
True, I agree. But LeBron is the bigger name. This team was constructed for him. And you can't underestimate it. He is the alpha, rightly so. I'm not saying anybody else should be the alpha.
I don't know if it's rightfully so.
Who better than him?
At 39, 40 years old, there should be. There should be 12 others.
But put a name on it.
There should be all 12.
Okay, but give me
Bam,
one.
Embiid, Curry, everybody, all of them. Tatum.
All of them are what? Better than who?
They should be. They should be better.
But what I'm saying is we don't know the answer to that question.
I do know.
I've
seen it.
I don't. No, you're missing what I'm saying.
I'm seeing Curry go 4 for 20 and not being a game changer on the defensive end. I'm seeing Tatum not being involved in the game at all. Booker not being involved in the game at all. I'm seeing Ant with up and down with turnovers here and there and not being impactful on defense, scoring here and there. LeBron has been the most consistent player on both sides of the floor every single game, and it's not close. I mean, I think your argument would be stronger if it was like close. If it was like
that's
not
close. That's not the argument I'm making. This team was constructed and built around LeBron. He has been given the lead role, and he's responded to the lead role. And that doesn't mean that other guys aren't better. But in a team setting, you have to pick an alpha. And LeBron has done everything that you want him to do. And I think he's extremely motivated because this was set up for him. He knows this is his last probable championship thing to do. It's a very defined window of time that he has to be elite for, a matter of weeks, not 82 plus 20 playoff games. And he has embraced this. He came in, he's practiced extremely hard. He's blown away everybody with his intensity, and he's carried that into games. He's doing everything we could ask of him, but he's also doing that from the lead role. And it's not his fault or blame anybody about that. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's America.
And he will be measured by winning this gold medal.
Yeah.
Not his whole career, but this thing.
LeBron is
we haven't even started the actual games. If this goes south and LeBron has a few bad fourth quarters, we're not talking about him the same way. Not his legacy and all that, but like we're going to stand. This U.S. team isn't enough. We're relying on a 40-year-old guy and he can't get it done.
Well,
that's my comments now. That's not. When
you structure a team, you give somebody the lead role. There's an alpha,
and that's what I'm saying. That's the injustice
of
it all.
That to him.
That's a shame.
They gave it to him for legacy. That's what I'm telling you.
They didn't when Larry Bird was whatever what is it 36, 37, He was an old man, considered an old man when they came on the team. They didn't give Larry Bird was a legend.
Michael took it.
Huh?
Guess
Michael had
what?
it.
Hey, guess what? If you give Biden,
Michael had it.
if you give Biden that courtesy, you better give LeBron that courtesy.
What's that?
If you let
What are we worried about
if
that
you let Biden crash out and play until he don't want to play no more, you better give LeBron that same courtesy.
No. It's not about the courtesy.
And the team is responding to him as he is the alpha. I don't see any of them stepping up.
It's
and being
not.
like,
It's not on LeBron. It's on the. I'm saying it's a shame that the other players were not given that. He is the best player.
Yeah, ain't no shame in that.
He is the best player.
Ain't no shame in that.
It is a shame that a 40-year-old player is the best player that the United States of America has to offer. Because it's not only it's a two-pronged thing, I guess. It's a two-sided argument that I'm making. My two-sided argument is I understand that they gave him the lead role and he's excelling in this lead role. My take is in the history of USA basketball, they have never given a 40-year-old man the lead role.
They've never had a 40-year-old man on the team.
Huh? We've had 35, 36, 37. Those guys, Larry Bird could barely walk.
That's a major difference, right?
But
there.
he was on the team. It's not like they gave it to him. Like, Larry, you're here. We love you. You've been carrying the NBA, and you've got 4 championships or whatever. You're going to lead this team.
They didn't do that.
Medal.
Yeah, they didn't do that because they didn't have to. The way that team was
So
structured.
they have to now. See what I'm saying?
No, you're playing with words.
The funny thing about this is
no.
Both of y'all are right.
The way that team in '92 was set up, it was Michael's team, and they wanted to basically they wanted to fill out that the glory of Magic Johnson and Bird and have them attached to that. They didn't have heavy lifting roles in that. It just was what it was. Mm-hmm. But this, I really feel like USA basketball, when LeBron committed to do this, they basically committed to say, we're going to give you the guys you want to play with, and it's your show. Take us home.
You're upset for the same reason I was upset with the last topic, but it's America. Like, at this point, if they don't care enough to develop the next alpha, then let LeBron rock out. LeBron has earned it.
There is a bigger developmental issue in play for sure.
You are absolutely right.
The majority of our recent MVPs have all been international players, and we've talked on previous episodes that the European developmental model is better than the American model at this point, and that affects the product that we're getting.
Those guys, our guys aren't good enough. Is what I'm saying. And even down to my guy, Embiid. He hasn't been like to say LeBron is just giving the lead role, that's why he's excelling. I don't think if you give that lead role to Embiid that the same thing would have been happening right now.
No, we crashing out.
I don't think if you give that to Anthony Edwards right now that same thing is going to be happening. I don't think if you give that to Jason Tatum, to Devin Booker, to Steph Curry, like that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you give that opportunity and the same thing, you get the same message and the same locker room speech that you gave LeBron, and this is your team, and you're going to take the last shots, and you're going to take the most shots, and we go as you go, and you give that to all those different individual players I just named, the same success will not follow.
Correct.
That's what I'm seeing. Okay. Now, in the next 4 years, maybe that changed. Maybe Anthony Edwards becomes more.
But my immediate point is what success have we had? We've won some pre-tournament games.
Yeah, that's it.
By small margins.
That's it.
Like, we're still very close to a flame out in the actual games. Mm-hmm. Make no mistake about it. We've accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
So that's where that is.
And full disclosure, if a Celtic was crowned to lead Team USA, I'm rooting for South Sudan.
Might be doing that anyhow.
Yeah, fuck Boston for life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still a crime that Brown is not on this team.
Absolutely. I'm mad that Team USA didn't put Bronny on the team. Because LeBron has done the work. LeBron has earned it. Whatever LeBron wants, give it to LeBron. That's how I feel.
Why not?
Why not?
Fuck it. You can't do any worse than what guy Booker's doing.
He's trash. They should send him home.
Just right now.
That would be that. I wish they could do that.
They don't got the balls.
Just send a healthy guy home because he's not playing well. That would be awesome.
That would bring America together.
Could be. Could be.
Then just transitioning into that. So my guy Embiid, he's been making a lot of different comments, but the one thing about it is coming from this long interview. It's coming from this long interview, so it's like he's saying a lot of things, saying that LeBron is really old, all these guys are really old, so don't expect. I hated that comment. Don't expect. We're expecting what did he say? We're expecting a lot from an older group. or whatever. These other countries are just as good as our players because he's not the same. Then he's talking about I'll average 50 if I didn't get double teamed and triple teamed every play.
Oh, would you?
I didn't like that one. He probably would, but just why say it?
I don't believe him.
He was averaging 35 for half the year getting double teamed or whatever. So.
Yeah. And then this one, he's saying he's the most hated player. And the other one that I actually agree with is the teammates thing. He's saying about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has a super team, and that he hasn't had the best teams, and that's the reason why he hasn't had a lot of success. The injuries and the lack of teammates.
I don't think anything he said is going to alleviate him being the most hated player. None of
it's going to add to that.
While there may be truth in each thing he said, saying it doesn't help him.
Right.
That's kind of would be my take.
I don't think he's even earned the right to claim the title as most hated player. I don't think you've done enough for me. I never think about Embiid when I wake up.
I do think that there's a truth to that. I don't know that he's the most hated guy.
Yeah.
I don't know that a lot of people, hate him. I mean, the Sixers, to be honest, they haven't been good enough in the playoffs to really develop that deep, sort of hatred or disgust for him.
At all.
But the interesting thing, when he first came in the league and started playing, he had a really fun personality.
They took it away from him.
He was almost goofy, and it's really been stripped away. Yeah, but he's just
way more.
He's just in a much darker place, and it's when I look at it, I feel bad that it's that way.
Yeah.
And it's funny. You look at, to me, Anthony Edwards. You kind of hope, as he kind of got rolling this year, I kind of was like, I thought about Embiid. I'm like, I don't want that for him. I don't want him to be what he is right now, and we go 3-4 years down the line, and he's talking about being the most hated guy or this or that. You just don't want that.
Yeah.
But I in American sports, and probably in any sport, there is a trajectory to the career that when you're on the rise and you're the new shiny toy, everybody loves you. Yeah. And then when you're actually in the prime of your career, you're kind of hated. You're kind of not loved. You're respected, you're feared, but you're not loved. And then when it looks like the end's coming again, usually the flowers come back out.
You might not be respected either.
When?
You might not be respected either.
When?
When that honeymoon burns out, you have to earn the respect.
What are we talking about?
I was speaking on the point that you were making.
About Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, once you're no longer the new guy and everyone is loving you and throwing flowers at your feet,
that's what I said. Is in the middle, you're not loved. It turns and becomes something else. You're feared, you're respected as an opponent, as whatever, but you're not loved. And it's just that's the way that it is. My guy Mbappe suffered that in the Euro, because there's a 16-year-old guy from Spain that was the darling of the tournament, and Mbappe's not the young sensation anymore. He's the guy that's just supposed to deliver. And he didn't have the greatest tournament. So there's a lot of, things thrown at him about that. And everybody thinks the 16-year-old guy is the greatest thing to come along. And they're already, he's the next greatest player in the world.
Yeah.
We'll see. You're 16. Let your balls drop.
Yeah. But I know what he wants. He wants people to shift the conversation to what he feels like are legitimate reasons and not excuses, right? So when people think Embiid, they think, he's never been out of the second round.
Career.
Yeah, in terms of his career.
Okay.
He's never been out of the second round. He's a loser. He's this. He always gets hurt. He wants that conversation to shift to, well, they did draft Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz in back-to-back years. They did have, bad coaches. They made bad trades. They gave max contract to Tobias Harris. I know.
They let Jimmy go.
They let Jimmy go in favor of Tobias.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wants people to know, he wants that conversation to shift to that versus him not getting the job done because he's not good enough.
But the problem is, in the reality of sports, that's the conversation's never going to go there.
No, that's just the reality.
Intense fans, people that know, people that follow, you'll know that. But the casual fan, the person that responds to just general sports stuff, they're never going to care. There's the old quote of, history's written by the victor. Yeah. And it's true. If he wins a title, the narrative changes.
Yeah.
Even if he were to leverage his way out of Philadelphia, go somewhere else, and have that next tier of success, then his story gets told.
Yeah.
But for him to kind of just use this offseason window and kind of talk it up, it's really not effective, and that's why it's almost unfortunate that he says these things even though they're truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear this from him.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear this from him. Like, you haven't.
I don't blame you for it.
As a Magic fan, I still hate Kobe more than I hate this guy. You know why? Because we would have had a ring if it weren't for Kobe. And that hate is parallel to the respect I have for Kobe. Because he came and he deboed us and he sat us down and we still ain't got a ring yet. I never wake up out of my sleep thinking about, damn, we still got to play Philly. Nah, man. I look forward to playing Philly. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. It's not hate. You don't matter in my grand scheme of things. I hate Boston.
Don't move the needle.
Yeah, I hate Boston.
What's with the Boston hatred? Where does that originate?
Have you seen Boston?
Or just because they're the best team?
Yeah, just
right
look at
now?
them. I hate them.
Just currently.
I just hate Boston. I hate the franchise. I hate the city. I hate the weather.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. Like, is it based on old Magic series?
Yeah,
or?
as a Magic fan, the lift it takes to get out of the East, I'm gonna have to get past Boston. Sometimes I get past Boston, sometimes I don't. And then I still got to worry about the West. So my life just sucks in general. But you are still in my way constantly.
Yeah.
So,
why are you a Magic fan?
I just like pain.
You could just go to an S&M dungeon and get the same thing.
It don't hit the same.
Oh, believe me, it will.
You know, I was here for that run. I was here when the Lakers were coming to town and we were taken seriously and we were still young in terms of like franchise age. Like we were still young and like you had to like you got to deal with us. Like we going up against Kobe. Like if we pull this off, if my boy hits that shot, like you gotta take us serious. And then we missed.
Yeah.
And so now y'all still talk down on us, but it's like y'all still gotta see us.
I guess the problem is the Magic have just largely been irrelevant for like 15 years. So I don't really like it's hard to be
irrelevant, but you still got to deal with us.
Like, who's got to deal with you? The Cavs? I mean, come on.
Yes, the Cavs got to deal with us. What do you mean?
The Cavs beat you.
Barely.
And nobody
because we couldn't hit a three.
And nobody's got to deal with.
If we could knock down some threes, the Cavs would not have survived us.
Just the Magic. Oh, hey.
The guy that didn't
what
hit.
Are you?
The Magic.
You sound like a Heat fan right now. Who are you?
Nah, I don't care about.
He's just a fan of basketball.
Yeah,
He's just a fan of basketball.
No, I mean, like and this is why I say that. Like, I don't see any reason in being the fan of an irrelevant team. I mean, I watch sports and I'm drawn to like, okay, what's compelling?
Yeah.
Like, who's a fascinating player to watch? What's a team that really seems to have their shit together and they're worth watching? I'm not going to sit there and root for a team that sucks. Like, that's a waste of my time and energy.
But why do they suck? Is the question.
There's many reasons: under-talented, bad front office, poor coaching. There's a myriad of reasons. Teams
Immaturity. I think
there's a collective.
Immaturity is something you can fix. When you're looking at a franchise,
no.
When you're looking at a franchise, hear me out. No, come with me. Come on a journey with me. If you look at a franchise like Philly,
thank you.
If you look at a franchise like Philly, who's supposed to be a more mature franchise, it's supposed to represent the sport better than they do. I would never root for Philly, but Magic is still young enough to where if you get your ducks in order, you can still build a dynasty during our lifetime.
You gotta have
you
gotta have the ducks, or you don't have anything. And it's not about maturity. It's not why.
About maturity.
No, it's not at all. You have the dudes and you win. Like, that's it. Like, you either have the talent to win or you don't.
I feel like, all right.
Yeah, of course I don't agree with that. I'm a part of fandom. I have my teams and I root for them even in the worst times.
I'm never the fan to try and convince you to come join us. All I'm saying is when we do cross that hump, like, remember this little conversation. We don't let you in the section in the club. Like, no.
I'm glad you had one good year in 2 decades.
Yeah. And I enjoyed that year. We were lit.
That's good, man. That's good.
We were lit.
All right, let's
fuck Boston, man.
Did you guys see what Jalen Brunson did? He took $113 million less.
$113 million less?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's that much.
$113 million less over the course of the deal. All right, and signed the extension with the Knicks. Now, Bridges is expected to do something similar as far as on his next deal, taking less money. You think that's going to become a trend? They're doing that so, of course, they can add additional pieces to that team.
Those are guys that are
in the NBA. That's not really. They don't really do that.
No. I'm saying, like, what New York has with the 4 Villanova guys is different.
Okay,
it's different. Those guys are like brothers. Like, they've been around each other for years.
Yeah.
And I just think that they treat that differently than most other people do. It's an outlier. Now, the thing is, can they achieve a level of success that makes other people feel like this is what we have to do to win at this level? I don't know. You know, that'll be the question. But I think, I mean, to me, they're an outlier. What they're doing and why they're doing it, I think they're doing it because they're brothers.
Yeah.
You know, it's just different. We can't equate it the same. You know, but there is, like, when you talk about, like, the get the bag stuff, this is an example of why I'm on the other side of that. It's like these guys, nobody's broke. Everybody's very good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, okay, I threw $130 million off the table.
Yeah.
But I'm still fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be at the soup kitchen. You know, I'm not going to be bumping Delonte West out of the panhandler line and all that stuff. So you're good. Like, you know, and it's just like, what do you want out of your life?
Right.
You know, does it matter that you make, you know, whatever, $700 million in contracts over your 15-year career, or like 3 and a really good run with my boys?
I think that willingness to be selfless for a moment is this, like, that's a key trait of greatness.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think there are dudes that wouldn't do that would take the bag, and it's not that I'm mad at you for taking the bag. It's just you just don't. The willingness to build something from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know, part of what I look at in this is, you know, I love to play basketball. I love the experience of it, and like, there are good days of basketball and there's bad days of basketball.
Right.
And if you're in a situation where you're going to get the bag, but it means that you're going to be on a team that's going to struggle to win 45 games, and you're going to play with people that aren't very good, like, that's the reality of your life for 82 games plus playoffs.
Yeah,
that there's a cost to that that's not direct dollars. But if you can take a little less and still have generational wealth, and I get to be on a team where we win the majority of our games and we're in the mix, and I get to play with people I respect and care about and love, that's different.
Yeah.
You know, I would take that any day personally over just, hey, I need the next highest deal in the league.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you know, nothing else matters.
Now, of course, you know, Carmelo, former Knick, he's like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Of course not. That's why your ass is home with no
We
titles.
Salute.
Yeah, you didn't. Here's the thing, Mel. You didn't even need to tell us. We already knew.
I appreciate the honesty.
I don't. It's useless.
And again, Carmelo has his place in history. Like, he gets a certain level of respect in certain corners, and that should never be taken away from him. But then when we're talking about the greats of the greats of the greats, you gotta stay
He's
in your
not
corner.
in that conversation.
Yeah, stay in your corner. Everyone just play their role, and we good.
He's eating at the kids' table on Thanksgiving.
See.
Yeah.
Have another Jello, Mel.
Hey, shout
Have
out to-
another Jello.
Shout out to Melo, man.
Nah, it is what I mean. You define what you are like that. I mean, the guy that I have in my head as we're having this conversation is Bradley Beal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Another Celtic. Yeah.
he knew Washington was going to be awful, but he
Took the money.
But he took the money anyway.
And then when he finally gets traded to a team that maybe has a chance, he's not healthy.
Nah,
he's
he's
not
terrible.
the same player that he was. You know, so it's all
But at least he
wasted.
got the bag.
You know
Yeah.
what I thought you said? I thought you said Bradley Avery. Or Avery.
Avery Bradley.
Oh.
Yeah. You said that name.
Yeah.
no,
Fucking-
Bradley
you see,
Beal.
the Celtics haunt my dreams. You see what I'm saying? That's where the hatred comes
You're
from.
a little too haunted by the Celtics.
That's where the hatred. That's where the hatred comes from.
And really, I should be.
I mean, it almost feels like you may have been prison raped by a Celtic or two. The way these scars run.
Just
That's
took
dark.
that left. Like,
That's dark.
it's just
Where it
basketball.
belongs, man.
That's dark.
It's just hooping.
not according to you, man.
God damn.
We got a couple quick ones here before we get out of here. All right. 2 sports, 1 romance. Let's go with the romance to mix
Sports,
it up.
1 romance.
Yeah.
Wait, we actually
This
have
is a quick
romance?
one here.
We actually have romance in this show?
Yeah. And maybe and on who knows? Maybe this finish it out. Let's see.
No, we're touching those 2 sports before we leave.
All right. Let's see here.
Why is romantic love such a bad thing?
Because it puts unrealistic expectations on a relationship. Romance is about
So.
had you groaning in my ear.
Why is romantic love such a bad thing?
Because it puts unrealistic expectations on a relationship. Romance is about whining and dining. And let's be honest, romance is about making women happy. There's nothing in the romantic model that says a man has to be happy at all. The romantic model says a man has to produce jewels, he has to produce nice things.
Right.
Look at the model of how proposals go in the West. Everybody has that image of their mind of a man down on his knee, bearing a gift, jewelry that's supposed to represent 3 months of his salary. It's all set up. It's all arranged in advance. That's romance. Romance is laying rose petals at her feet. Romance is talking to her.
Worshipping women.
It is a worship. Gee, what could go wrong there long term? If you start a relationship with that kind of unrealistic expectation, that only thing that matters is elevating her. The only thing that matters is her happiness.
And that's why you get these women saying they fell out of love. It's
Absolutely.
because they came in with the expectation of romantic love.
And women aren't particularly romantic. Men are. Men are the romantic ones. I work with couples. I work with men post-divorce. It's always the men that are devastated. The broken hearts. I mean, I see it affects women too, no doubt. But for most guys that I work with, by the time the divorce rolls around, she's doing well. Got a new boyfriend.
Right.
Probably had one before they ever broke up. She monkey branched right out of it. And women tend to do their grieving while they're in the relationship, and then they're done. And then a guy is like, oh, it's over now. Then he starts.
This guy is just spitting facts. This guy, like, legit.
He's just explaining women's sides. Like,
This is on fire, this guy. Everything he says is on the money.
all right, so what's the problem?
I mean, so what would be? First of all, you don't think women could be more romantic than the men?
No, not at all.
Have you met women?
Yeah. Are you sure you've been dating dudes?
I always say that. I always say that men have more game. Men have more game than women. You know what I mean? Like,
We have to.
Where does the game come from?
All women need to do is lay down and spread the legs. No, seriously, that's it.
Lauren says he's goofy.
That's all they need to do.
Yeah.
The burden is on men to do everything.
Yeah.
You know, all that, like, everything he said is correct. It's like, women are not necessarily romantic. They cook you a decent meal and give you a blowjob. They think they're fucking should be sainted.
And they should be saying it.
No, they shouldn't.
Like, I feel like I just watched someone explain to me that water is wet.
You're far too easily pleased.
That's how I feel. I'm a man. We are far too easily pleased. We just got done talking about knowing your role and coming to terms with it, right?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, that's what the whole Carmelo conversation was. You just told Carmelo to sit in the corner. And
No. It's just,
you know your role. I know my role when it comes to dealing with women. I'm paying for the date. I'm waiting 3 hours for you to get dressed after. Like, there are certain roles that I expect as a man in this situation. It's cool. I'm with it because I know what I signed up for.
Yeah.
but did you sign up for it, or did you not have a choice? Did you not have a choice, though?
No choice.
What are we?
I don't think there's a choice. I don't think you consciously sign up for that.
I mean, there's a choice. You can be with a man if you want, but
Well,
I like women. I know how women think, and I know what women are. I choose women.
If you are not a homosexual, you do not have choice.
No.
If you are trying to secure pussy, like, you have to do what you're saying.
It's worth.
It just is
you
what
have
it
to do the
is.
whole
It is
song
worth
and
the
dance.
price of admission. Yeah. Am I wrong?
Sometimes you wonder.
Yeah.
Like, really?
A lot of times you wonder.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it because
Well,
you do it because you know,
Brett, he just
whatever.
told. Are you okay?
No, because, like, okay, think
you do
about
it
it.
because you're forced, but it's
But you think about it. Like, why will we go and get laid when we can? Like, when it's easy.
Yeah.
We'll just take it. Because we don't have to do all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And we get the same pussy. But then, like, and again, a lot of times when you have gone the extra mile and done the stuff for a person, and then it's like, you know, they start acting funky, you're kind of like, why the fuck did I do all that?
yeah.
That was ridiculous. Wasted effort.
Yeah, it's an investment.
You know? It's not an investment.
Every
You don't get a
invest-
return.
It's an investment. It was a bad
You don't get a
investment.
return.
And
But
how many,
how else
how
do you-
many investments do you have to make? That's even
As many
that's even
as-
before you get to the ring, the
as
2
many
rings
as
you have
necessary.
to buy.
But what he was really speaking to is this, is that it's just a never-ending thing that you need to do.
There you go.
You invest in this woman, and it you know, unless you maintain all this stuff, and even maybe if you do, they get bored.
Yep.
And then the life's going to get sucked out of the relationship. The women typically stop doing what you want them to do far earlier than you do.
Yes.
And it's like, again, if you step back and look at it as an investment, it's a poor one.
And that's why men die first, typically. And that's why there are more women on Earth than men. It is what it is.
Really
Why?
sure
So
what
the
that-
living,
I
the
really,
living
I,
ones,
I really don't know the connection.
Yes.
So
What
the
we're
living
talking
ones
about.
can have more than one. Is that why?
Huh?
The living, the men, the remaining of the living men
What
can
I'm
have more
saying
than
is,
one.
don't make yourself a hostage of someone that's already moved on. Like, if she stopped doing what makes you happy, knowing that that's what makes you happy, she no longer cares about your happiness, leave.
Well, my thing is take the available coochie and just keep going. Like, don't put yourself in this position where you're doing all this extra shit. If I got to do all that, it's really not worth it.
Yeah, but then
If she's worth it, I'm doing the extra shit because she's worth it.
But
it don't feel like extra
my
work.
point is, you have to realize at the end of the day, she's not going to be worth it.
She might be.
Keep hoping.
Hey, all we got is hope. I'm a Magic fan. That's all we got is hope.
Yeah, that's where we're different.
That's all we got is hope, man.
Bubba's just
Am I tweaking?
I don't know.
I'm a little bit younger. I'm the youngest in the room right now.
Time out.
So put me on game.
Let's just
He's not-
focus.
he just went out.
Time out. Let's just focus on Bubba staring into the space.
No, he blacked out for a minute.
I'm thinking I don't know if I've ever met one that is worth all of that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if I've ever met one.
They may have been worth it for a period of time.
You're the same one
And
that
that's
was
tough.
sniffing bad breath because, like, yeah, we make sacrifices
But he
for women.
eventually,
Yeah, but
Eventually, you move on.
Yeah, but I'm
eventually
talking
eviscerated
about
If you would have married it, that would have been crazy.
if you look at all the investments that you have to make, that you make over a course of time. I have never met one that has been worth all of those investments, and that's even before you get to the ring that has to be 3 times
Right.
your what you get paid. And then you have to pay for another ring after that, and then you have to pay for
Wait,
the
hold on,
wedding
hold on.
after
What's-
that.
What's
Right.
the other ring you got to get?
The actual wedding ring. They don't come free, do they?
I don't know.
And then the actual wedding, and then like I'm talking about before you get to all of that extra shit. I don't even know if I don't know if I met one. It's that's tough.
At the end of the day, marriage makes no financial sense for a man.
No, it does not.
It's an absolute losing
But a,
gamble.
but a good woman is worth the world. So it is what it is.
No. Hope you found that bitch.
I just don't know, because then what am I worth?
Nothing.
If I meet a woman that's worth the world, what am I worth?
That's what he's telling
You're
you.
supposed to be worth her
Nothing.
world.
No,
But
Ideally.
but she doesn't invest. That's not the same level of investment. She's not making
women
the same
are
level of
all
investment.
right. Women are magical creatures, right?
See, that's
Dude,
When
that's
she-
stop. You went-
when she
stop.
decides-
Time out.
Nah. Let me cook.
Stop
Let me
drinking
cook.
the Kool-Aid,
Let me
man.
cook. Let me cook. It's not Kool-Aid. It's rum.
It's Kool-Aid.
It's rum.
I'm drinking.
My parents are
rum.
immigrants, yo. We believe in this love shit. All right. Hear what I'm saying. Women
We heard it.
will find.
Go ahead.
Salute. Women will find who they want and make him her world. I've never been in that situation, but I've seen it happen because the majority of people I'm around on a day-to-day are women. So I've seen them put on their blinders and be like, no, this is who I want in my life. Like, this is who I want to build with.
I agree with that.
That connection, that link is worth the investment on my part. It's worth the frustration and sitting here looking at my
You're not
silly.
saying what the guy's getting out of that transaction.
And also, let me counter this as well. You're doing the same thing. At least she believes you're doing the same thing. So why is that not an equal? Why is that not enough right there?
What do you mean, why is it not enough?
You're saying that when you meet a one, blah blah blah, she's going to make you her world and put the blinders on, and you're the only one. She in her mind, you're doing the same thing for her. You've got the blinders on.
Yeah.
She's your world.
If she's worth it, yeah.
Okay, why? That's an even investment.
We make a lot of bad investments though, as men.
So,
Like bad investments is an important part.
That's kind of now
that's
you're basically
your
making
own-
our argument.
There you go.
We're not disagreeing. It's just a different perspective.
But you tried to disagree with us.
No, I wasn't.
You did.
I was just
It
shooting.
sounded like it.
No, I was just shooting.
Disagreement.
I
Yeah.
was just shooting. I was just trying to hear like what his reasoning was, because like again, you're explaining
His
to me that
was
water
quite
is wet.
clear.
You're explaining that water is wet. Like yes, but again, if I find the diamond in the rough is she's still a diamond. So I'm just gonna stop looking for diamonds.
No, I just would hope that diamond would understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I would. There is no ideal world. There's no ideal world.
Have y'all ever been flown out by a woman that like wanted you? She wanted you, so she made all the arrangements and like
Flew
took you
me
on
out
a
to a destination, like literally.
flew you out, like, or even just booked a hotel in Daytona or whatever. Like, took you out. Like, she pursued you. Like, she
lovely
flipped the script.
Daytona.
Shout out to Daytona, of course.
Maybe Houston may have done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did that make you feel in that moment?
Yeah, cool. That's a one-time thing.
As a one-time thing, it felt unnatural, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Stop trying to flip.
Where are we going with this?
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
I don't really. Yeah.
Because
Where are we going with this?
Because even if it happens once, but we're doing it 20 times over.
Yes, but it doesn't feel right when the script is flipped.
Oh,
So you were trying to get Bubba to admit that it didn't feel good.
I'm asking him, you didn't marry her, so like, what did you get out of it besides?
Bubba's not an idiot.
Like, what did you get out of it? Like, what did?
Not only that I'm not married, I did it wrong. So
You did it. You sing one wrong too.
How did that go?
moving along here, what we're going to do?
Oh, we gotta have a conversation. Like, why would you bring up a romantic conversation? There's 3 men sitting here. That was a crazy topic to bring up. Are we gonna talk about it? Like, let's talk about it.
I
Though.
think we have talked about it.
I don't like. Here where I'm coming from.
I'm trying to figure that out. You seem to be all over the place.
I'm cool with the role that was assigned to me.
Okay.
Because the type of woman I'm looking for, I may have to take her out a couple of times. I'm going to have to play my masculine role to court her and go through all those steps. I don't have a problem with making that investment. Money is to be spent. I'd rather spend it on someone who I like.
Okay. You could throw it away on the Chiefs.
Here you go. I like that. I like that. Yo, no, you're good at this, man. Hey, you're not paying him enough.
I mean,
That's my guy.
No, it was. I don't know, man. I thought what he said was very truthful.
It was true.
And it is one of those things, though. I think like when you hear it that way and you think about it, it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why am I continuing to do that?
That's the main thing.
I'm fishing for diamonds.
But what if there's no diamonds out there?
There's a diamond out there. Stop playing with me.
Let me know when you find a diamond.
I'll let you know.
All right. I'll probably be dead before you do.
You'll be invited to I'm gonna get your urn. I'm gonna bring your urn to the wedding.
We can get my urn to the wedding.
I'm gonna sprinkle your ashes after I do my vows.
And you better play back that ass up at some point. No fucking YMCA either.
Hey, no more romantic topics though. That was a crazy transition.
That was pretty good. We woke Lauren up right there.
She did good.
Yeah,
She woke up. She got a little sad. She got a little emotional, and then she got religious.
This is what you subscribe for right here.
She found the Lord.
Hopefully she doesn't have a pot of hot water on her hands there, man. Hopefully not.
I rebuke you.
Too soon? Yeah, too soon. Too soon.
Took us on a journey.
Yeah. I'm a fan of dark comedy though.
I am a fan of this
shout out to
platform.
Dark Comedy Orlando and damn, what's the comedian name?
Land it.
Jesus,
land it.
I had it, man.
That's an ISO. Land it. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Jari.
There we go.
Jari knows.
That was hard.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of what you guys do here with this platform so much. In fact, that I listened to your previous
I
episodes.
appreciate that.
And I do want to respond to something a conversation you guys had that I was not in the room for.
Oh,
this
man.
is good. Go ahead.
I don't. Yeah. So
Call back.
Go ahead.
FAMU's been having a very difficult time.
There you go.
The dark clouds have been
Yeah.
over the highest of the 7 hills.
Yeah.
But I cannot allow the good name of Mr. Willie Simmons to be slandered. I cannot allow this because we have too many other people to slander. We have to remain focused, like what you were saying about Trump. We got to focus on the real ops.
Okay.
You feel me?
One of our more popular takes there.
So you're a big Willie Simmons guy.
Absolutely, because I'm a FAMU Rattler fan.
All right.
So
but you were
it
cool with
wasn't-
him leaving a job
Yes, because
for
again,
a running back's position.
yes.
Okay.
A running back position for a program that saw his value and did not wait until the end of the season to approach him with an offer. Because based on the information that was made available to me, his team was reaching out to the athletic department at FAMU University. Hey, guys, I want to be here. Like, can we work something out?
Yes.
Oh, we're not ready yet.
So
Okay,
so
cool.
He was
I'm gonna go back to
seeking-
winning.
he
Okay,
was-
a little bit more winning. Hey guys, you guys ready to have the conversation yet? Willie, we'll get to it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just keep back going, winning, undefeated season.
Because his contract is not up.
So,
contract
so-
not up yet.
Yeah.
So he was reaching out for an
So he
extension
was
and getting
reaching out.
rebuffed.
And
Yes.
Okay, which set the stage. If you guys aren't going to commit to me, I need to look at other
I got a
options.
family to feed.
Okay.
But guess what?
I got a family
But
to
guess
feed.
what?
Huh.
They still ended up matching Duke's offer. So
Okay.
his whole song and dance worked. It worked.
Song and dance.
Yeah. The
Song
whole
and dance. Hey, first of all, take that tone out your voice when you're talking about shotgun. I need you to understand how bad things were.
it worked. No,
No,
hey,
I
listen.
need you to understand how bad things were.
Hold on.
The second before he walked in the door.
It would yes, they were struggling. They were struggling not only as a football team but as an institution. And the new president came, and then and then Willie came. The school started turning around. He turned around the football program. Okay, and typically, yes, in college football and college sports, period. We just saw this in college basketball. If you win a championship, if you have a successful season, it is normal for coaches to come to the athletic director and restructure your contract and get more money. That is normal in college athletics. Yes. But the thing here is they did tell him no, but FAMU was still in a stretch of time where they were turning things around, right? They didn't have the funds. But they found the funds once he found another job.
Well, I was going to say the interesting thing that you take out of this is like, what is the value of feeling appreciated and respected?
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you've done a fantastic job, which he did, and you're reaching out and you're kind of getting rebuffed, like that, you're going to feel some kind of way. And probably rightly so. Most of us would.
Yeah, but
then if they come around late and be, I'll give you what you want now.
It didn't work exactly like that, right? Because it needed other powers that B had to come in, donate money. They had to go to like different channels to raise the money.
Right.
So it wasn't like they had it all along and was like, hi, here you go.
But I understand. But what I'm saying is, if you're Willie, you're still going to react some kind of way. Now, like I've had, like in his perspective, I've done a great job for a couple of years. Like you have to start.
You see my body of work.
You have to start getting these resources together. Like we're not coming last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's plenty of times you don't necessarily have the money in hand. I get that. But when he's reaching out for extension, you're giving him a message. Yes, we very much want to talk. Here's what we're planning. And when we get the, again, it's that appreciation. I wasn't in the room with those conversations.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think one of the things that you look at is like, do I have to be dramatic all the time to get what I want? And an example of that is across the other side of Tallahassee was Jimbo. Yeah. Jimbo for years kept going to the FSU. I need this. Clemson's doing that. Alabama's doing that.
Right.
And he was having to fight every year to get something, and then maybe to give him a little bit, but not everything he wanted. And it became, for him, his perspective, exhausting. And then FSU goes through the dark ages, and now that Mike's there, they've kind of done a good job of like proactively being step with Mike and what he wants, and we're reaping the rewards of that. Here's what I'm saying though, like if you're running a first-rate organization,
Mm-hmm.
like you have to be proactive. You have to be on the front foot. You have to say, like, I have a very good coach right now. He's done a great job. He's not going to wait forever. Like I've got to be communicating and locking him in, because if I don't, somebody else is going to come knocking.
I 1000% agree. If it's not an HBCU, because you have to bake that in to this whole thing, because Willie knew, but when he took the job, you know what I mean? Like FAMU is the reason why Willie is able to even be looked at.
Correct.
For Duke.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Duke wasn't calling before FAMU.
Correct.
There was a 0% chance he would have be able to get a Duke job.
Yeah.
So when you get this FAMU job, you understand the financial state that FAMU was in at that time. You understand the HBCU culture. You're
Mm-hmm.
championing it. You're saying all the right things. You're telling how important it is. Okay, so when you take that into consideration, I understand you want your money, right? Now, whether he got upset or not, whether that's the case or not, they ended up with the money before you agreed and signed on the paper for Duke. They came up with the money. Now what it's about at this time is, okay, whether if he's pissed or not, it's about
I don't like how you paint him because he's not an emotional dude.
It's not about
being pissed.
it's not about painting him. It's just about the decision that he left the HBCU to go to Duke, which in general it's not always a bad thing because they've been doing that for thousands of years. My thing is when is the person who is going to be the first person to stand up and say, you know what, maybe I'll just stay at this HBCU and build it up.
The person
why does every single, because the when you got the energy that I caught on the video was because it's not just Willie. It's because of the 100 of people before Willie.
Correct.
The 100 of coaches.
Dion and them.
Yeah, all of them that have come through and that we have created and made into good coaches.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We made into a household name.
Correct.
And then they ended up leaving.
You're preaching to the choir right now, brother, because I am a Magic fan. You know how many stars we have made? You know how many stars we have made and shipped off to a better organization. So again,
who's going to be the one to stay?
Hear me out. The person that's going to stay and make an actual impact, he's not going to be standing there by himself. He's going to be there with an AD who understands, okay, he's going to be there with an AD, a president, a board of directors, because FAMU is a public institution. Duke and FAMU are very different. All money aside, what Duke can dedicate to their athletic budget while also being an academic first, FAMU can't. We understand that. I understand where you're coming from. But FAMU had an AD who was standing next to Willie, and they were on the same type of time. The same way we're talking about Willie Simmons now because Willie Simmons was like that. We had an AD who was just like that, who got let go because whatever you want to call it, disagreement, you want to call it different visions, this and the third. Duke's vision is clear cut. Our football program is going to be competitive, whether it be in the ACC, whether it be in the Big Ten, wherever Duke ends up, we're still going to be Duke. The academics is still going to be there, but you have to be able to see the ceiling and not get fed up after you've already signed another 5-year contract when you realize you're bumping your head against the ceiling and the administration doesn't want to make football the number one priority. Football is never going to be the number one priority at FAMU, and that's okay.
Probably not at any HBCU.
Well,
they champion academics.
Not right now.
Yeah.
No,
but things can change really fast.
I think what he said at the beginning is probably the most pertinent thing. Like the person that is potentially going to change it is not going to be the individual person. It's going to be the alignment of the person, the AD, the president, who's going to say we have something and we're going to, again, proactively get the resources to push this as far as we can. And if you have one but not the other, it's always going to be the flight.
We already know FAMU got an alumni base. Yeah, we can scramble and raise. Oh, we got the money. Why was it a scramble? If we don't have a direct vision, this is what our 10-year, our 50-year plan is, and it includes being a national powerhouse, being able to go down to Miami and it not just be a money game, like we're actually going down there to compete, being able to go to play like that's just not what they're trying to do right now.
I guess my thing would be, no matter how it comes together, if it comes together, then that should be good enough. Now whatever that may not be the case.
And that's kind of the take that I wanted to get. And again, I don't know what was said exactly, but like again, there's a real part of this when you're negotiating and doing this stuff that it can get personal or emotional, and you will potentially feel some kind of way if you feel like you've asked and demanded and been fair and kind of made accommodations along the way and it's not being reciprocated. Right. It's just like a relationship. It's like if you're the one who's always, getting the fancy dinner and the school's just acting happy to be there and plenty hungry, like what do we do?
Or on the other side, he could have just been so ready to go to his first D1 a Power 5 opportunity. We don't know that either. Maybe he was just chomping at the bit to leave this HBCU to go to Duke to take any old job that is offered.
And I'm gonna say this as the rattler in the room. What we know for a fact is stuff like this is not gonna happen at Duke, and stuff like this is not gonna happen at Duke because good business and emotion do not go hand in hand. You cannot be so excited. Oh, we didn't even know we were going to the HBCU National Championship. Let's go get our alumni. Like, no, what is the plan? If there's no plan, we're just moving off emotion. We're just going off of vibes. That's not good business.
Well, I see. My biggest thing with the move itself was that it was Duke, and it was a running back's job, and it was and it was on a new staff of a guy who's failed. So, to me, Manny Diaz could be. I mean, Duke's not built to consistently win, and it's in what seems to be a dying conference. Like, it's not a great job to jump to. Now, if you're going to be, running back coach at Georgia with Kirby,
now you're talking.
That's a different thing. But
that's
Duke,
not available right now.
But that's But that's when I'm first looking at him jumping to that job, it strikes me. Oh wow, you're a head guy, you're successful, and now you're going to go running back coach, but not to a program that's necessarily sustainable and winning. I looked at it that way. I'm not sure that it's a great career move.
Let me give you something.
And as a coach, my other perspective is you get used to being the head guy and making decisions. And then when you go, and we're not even talking like offense coordinator, we're talking running back coach. Mm-hmm. And that's got to be, take money aside, just pure coaching wise, that's got to be a tough thing to do. Because now, you're the third, fourth guy down on the chain of command when you're used to making snap decisions. Hey, we're doing this, and it happens.
And guess what? If Manny fails, which is it's a decent possibility.
And that's what I was fixated on. Manny's no lock to succeed.
Yeah. Where does that leave you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to be retained. Now, are you going to just follow Manny wherever he goes? Maybe he's going to want to switch it up at the next job and get a different running backs coach. Where does that leave you?
Well, we saw something similar to this in a little bit of a more personal situation for me. Evans High School used to be a football power in Orlando. We haven't been a football power in a long time, but we had a very high recruit, and he had the choice to go to a Power 5 school, whether it be Miami. He had offers from Miami, he had offers from Florida State, all these other schools. He chose to go to Maryland. People were like, oh, well, why you go to Maryland? You had so many other offers. Sometimes being that bigger fish, maybe not the biggest fish, but being that bigger fish in a smaller pond where you can be recognized for what you do well. Because Willie Sims is still a student of the game. Like, he's not like a OG in this. Like, he's not like at the Nick Saban point of his career. In a lot of ways, he's still a very young coach. So, okay, you're not going to win a national championship at Duke more than likely. But you telling me that somebody at a different place isn't going to see what you do as a running back coach? Already proven what you've done.
Yeah, sure.
At the head of a prestigious institution, you came over here and was able to be a team player.
That's why I just think the Duke thing is tough because it's not one of those jobs,
and we won't know until we see.
And Manny's not one of those guys. And the other thing we talked about too when the story was coming out, like Manny's a defensive guy. Mm-hmm. If he's going to take people with him, like on his next job, it's probably going to be defensive guys. Especially if he fails and has to go back to a DC job, which is where he went from Miami to Penn State.
I have full confidence in Willie to land on his feet. But again, this story that we're about to talk to right now is why I can't shoot at someone who looked like he was the man from the outside, but then took a step away to go join someone else's staff. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, it's about direction from you, especially at a HBCU. The head coach, I don't care how much you win in. The president is the star. The administration is the star. Like, you do your job to make us look good. We got to be in the pictures. We got to be on this and the third. Like, please take us to this next topic so I can.
Yeah, so FAMU's president, Larry Robinson, has resigned as leader of the state's only public, historically black college, university, after a decision that comes amid a failed $237 million donation. All right. That one key official labeled as an embarrassment, right? So basically, there was this guy who came in and it was at the graduation, all right? At he was the keynote speaker at the graduation, right? Okay. And he came up, and at the end of his speech, he was like, "Oh yeah, and the money's already in the bank." So basically, it was they were trying to keep it a secret at the time. All right, Robinson and his staff. All right, after further reading into it more.
Right.
All right. And this guy here who made the donation, the problem came in when at the end of his speech, he basically like let the cat out the bag.
Okay.
$237 million. I'm donating to FAMU, and it turned out to be somewhat of a scam. It just wasn't
somewhat.
Well, so here, I mean, when I'm listening to this, like, who is this guy, and what's his background?
So he's a business.
Nobody knows.
He's in business. That's what.
He's in business.
Yeah, he's in business. So
Oh God.
let me see. They had his name and everything here, and it was another college that he did this exact same thing too. All right.
I remember we talked about that, but I guess so it's not clear. Like, hey, this guy allegedly made a fortune in whatever industry. Like, that's unknown.
Yeah, he's a Texas hemp farmer.
Allegedly.
A hemp farmer.
Yeah, and
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
he attempted
What do
to
you
make
suspect it is for real?
large gifts to other
Scammer?
institutions that fell through.
But what? Okay, so what's the scam though? Like, did he deliver any funds? Just not what he
No
promised.
funds.
No
He
funds.
brought-
Zero funds.
He
Zero
brought
funds.
what was it? Stocks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, no. What?
Stocks.
in the form of shares in his private company.
So he donated shares in his private company.
That supposedly would have equaled to
okay,
$237
so
million.
he did convey something, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
worthless stakes
potentially
in
worth
your
that. Okay.
make believe
No,
company.
I was just
Yeah.
curious about the mechanics of what was delivered or not delivered. So
Yeah.
okay.
So
You know what was delivered? One of them big paper checks that look good.
Well,
That is all he delivered.
No. It is significant. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's significant that he tried to convey these shares.
So it says,
And again, if it's his own company,
It's his own company.
That's also kind of interesting.
So it says Jeremy has a questionable business background and has previously attempted to make large gifts to other institutions that fell through. Questions over his ability to fulfill the gift have also gone unanswered, and FAMU is not dealing with the possibility that the money won't materialize as promised. It didn't materialize because the shares are in a private company. The school cannot easily convert them to cash, and Jeremy's permission would be required for FAMU to sell. University has
Jeremy is
the guy who made
the donation.
University also hasn't received an independent valuation on the true worth of the stocks that was supposed to be worth anywhere from $0 to $300 million. So that was the initial a failure on the staff. They didn't receive an independent evaluation.
And so
of the
they
stocks.
like playing this back. The president and the administration probably were aware of these issues, and that's why they didn't want to disclose anything and keep it quiet until they figured out what was actually what. Maybe there is some donation in this, maybe there's nothing, and then they could announce it in their own terms of whatever they want.
Yes.
But he steals the show by dropping this.
No,
So why-
no.
yeah,
Time out.
okay.
No,
Well,
time
go
out.
ahead.
Time out. Because you don't want to do the due diligence. You don't want it to get out. You don't want to announce it. But you have this same gentleman come do the commencement.
Yeah, I don't know why. they did that.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't know why.
that goes to another mistake then. So
Yeah. That's
no,
silly.
No, I get you. No, I'm with you.
That's silly.
I'm just trying to build,
Yeah.
okay, what's transpired, and again, that's the thing too. Why would you even give this guy the opportunity to have that platform at that moment with his donation?
Because you were
secure?
thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were thirsty. You were excited. This would have been the biggest donation to a HBCU in history.
Yeah.
Y'all want to show up Spellman, who has the current record for the biggest donation in history. Was that I think that's like 100
100
mil? Yeah. So y'all were, again, thirsty to not even, getting the money is one thing, but you're more excited for the clout. That's the difference between an actual administration. Like you can't do this at Duke. They're talking about the president signed it. The president's talking about they signed an NDA with the dude. You're at a public institution.
That's what they said they did
The president signed an NDA.
prior to the speech. Wait, who the NDA was? Who was bound by the NDA?
The president and his staff and this mystery dude whose name we can't even
So he
find.
violates the NDA in his speech.
There is no NDA. It's a public school.
I thought you just said there was an NDA.
They signed an NDA, but you cannot legally sign
If
an
it wasn't
NDA as
enforceable.
So they're not legally
as
bound.
the
Yeah.
as the administration of a public institution. What do you mean you signed an NDA? That's not
Yeah. It was just missteps. Just crazy amount of missteps along the way.
these aren't even missteps. This is malpractice.
Well, that's why he's resigning. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You resigned, but you still work at the school.
Does he?
He was a
I was
professor.
about to say
He's a professor.
he's going to take a year off and then come back as a professor. That was his original
What's the
job.
harm in that then?
Probably no
The
harm.
harm-
It's a lot of shame he
For sure.
he shed against the university.
Well, but it's also fascinating that he would want to come back there because there is the shame.
Yeah, I
attached
know,
to that.
right?
He could go teach at another school and be a professor somewhere else
Yeah.
quietly out of harm's way. I mean,
Yeah.
but he's choosing to come back there where
Systematic lack of
embarrassed
accountability.
It was, yeah.
Systematic lack of accountability is something that we don't like to admit, but is a feature of HBCU.
She said, "Dang, Jay, I thought you were pro FAMU."
I am absolutely pro family. I'm not pro cult, and that's my beef with people. Like, why does me being a part of your group, being a fan of your institution, mean I have to pretend like this is not bullshit that y'all just did in front of us?
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
You are tasked with preparing the next generation for the real world.
Yeah.
This don't work in the real world. This don't work nowhere else. There's no public institute. There's no public school you can work at and be like, oh, well, we were trying to keep the check a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
The
man.
board of
It's nuts.
directors had a meeting about this because it's embarrassing. Just egg on the face.
I guess what the one thing I'm kind of
I'm not done yet. Let me land. Let me land. The board of directors had a meeting, probably, and you can go and watch. It's public because again, it's a public school. So they had a meeting and they voted not to do an audit.
Of what? An audit of
An audit of everything. Because if you, as the president, are trying to
Oh,
take
are
$1 million
doing this.
checks
What else
under the
could
table,
you have done?
what else the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Under you've been there for damn near 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, they voted no. They voted it down. We're not going
That's,
to do
that's
an
probably is the best thing to do.
Nobody wants to be audited.
Yeah, yeah, probably
For
the best
anything.
thing to do. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be
anyhow.
exposed. Nobody wants to be exposed for looking-
anything.
Like you
Nobody wants to be
could
audited for
have. You
anything.
could have sat on the toilet and did your Googles and found out that there was no $2 million check coming from this.
I'm doing more than
How did
Googles
the
on the toilet, my
how
friend.
did the staff not? How did your entire administration and FAMU is very renowned for being very careful with their brand.
Yeah.
So like students, they'll put students on blast. They
No,
hold.
this is
they'll-
this is a horrific, error. No doubt about it. I mean, this guy had a questionable background already. Why are you even fucking with him? Like, yeah, there's no,
I guess
there's no explanation or justification for what transpired. This is an all systems failure.
It's lack of accountability.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna stay at the same school because I'm gonna just resign. I can fall back, and we just keep this in house. Like it'd be a lot of bullshit that gets kept in house that doesn't get cleaned up because it's in house.
Yeah.
And then when people start pointing it out as, oh, I thought you were a fan. Oh, why are you speaking on our HBCU? Like, no, this is not. Willie Simmons is a serious person, so that's why he has to go away from stuff like this. You feel me?
Well, it doesn't help my case, but I mean,
It's not about helping your case, bro. If you have a
See ya
shitty,
later.
if you have a shitty case, it's shitty. Damn.
We'll end the show on that, man,
All right.
and catch you guys next week on the bench. Appreciate you, Jay.
But this all came to like.